Yes.
All right, so instead of we wanted to begin our meeting, we had a public hearing at the bar and restaurant. Why don't we all rise for the pledge of allegiance? Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America. And to the stand one Republic Farmingdale LLC. Before we begin, I just want to read the statement into the record. The planning board shall have the right to rely on any information that is presented by the applicant. If any such information is later found to be inaccurate and incorrect, the planning board may determine that any approval of building permits or other action previously granted in connection with the application are null and void. Council, you're here to represent the client.
Good evening, Mr. Chairman, members of the board. For the record, Joseph F. Zell, from the Zell Plan, County 535 North Hollow Road, Suite D4, Ellisville. We are the attorneys for Acadia Public Farmingdale. With me is Mr. Tom Julius from Acadia, Dale Koch, Solar Engineering, the project engineer. Mr. Jay Culler from the Rosenbaum Design Group, project architects. Mr. Paul Going from Pitman Track.
Before we start, the planning commission issued a memo on November 9th. This year.
I do have the memo and we got the.
And do you have any questions or concerns or anything related to this memo?
We can send to all the coverage, all the positions, one that has to be discussed in the big property on number 9, which requires a reason that the lot. Right, that's in place of we have to talk to that. Number 2 is a grade change between the 2 lots. And we have to be examined now. But other than that, we can set the order.
Thank you very much.
The application seeks to develop vacant industrial property in first-class multi-building shopping center. Property is indicated on the screen. It is on the west side of Broad Hollow Road, about 100 feet south of Conklin. As you can see in the corner, on the southwest corner of Conklin and 110, is the gas station. The property wraps around that gas station, extending along Conklin down to East Carnes Road and extending south on Route 110 all the way down to the shopping center, which formerly included the Anthony's Coal-Fired Pizza that we recently closed. The site is about 20.3 acres or 884,641 square feet. It's about 1,070 feet on 110, about 330 feet on Conklin, and about 1,013 on Farm Road. There is a grade change. The property drops as we move west from Route 110. Ownership is divided among the 2 entities. The applicant owns tax lots 100, 49, 2, 1, 4, 6, 7, 8, 10, 11, and 14. That is basically the vacant area that you see on that aerial photo. To address comments that were received by the town, the applicant entered into contract to purchase the adjacent property on Route 110, which is the Strip Shopping Center on the right. You can see 2, the one on the right. The applicant is in contract to purchase from 1282-1286 Route 110 LLC. That building would be demolished and the land included into that lot is at a higher grade than most of the remainder of the site. You can also see the panhandle with the out parcel. It's highlighted in yellow. It extends kind of at an angle from Route 110. That is owned by the state. It was formerly used to access navigation equipment. The cable property wraps around that lot on three sides. That is not part of the application. All the properties are zoned industrial. North of the site, gas station, the other side of the Conklin property zoned industrial. You see there's industrial use of most of those parcels. There is, of course, the vacant old farm diner. And then north of those properties on Conklin, you have the Long Island Railroad. To the east is Airport Plaza and Republic Airfield. To the south, there are industrial properties stretching all the way down to 199 on both sides. To the west, of course, Carmen's is the East Farmingdale Fire Department that there are some significant across that street. The Route 110 corridor has certainly evolved in our lifetime. Originally industrial, principally manufacturing and warehousing. A lot of it based around Gulfport, South Republic. There's now a collection of retail, food service, and customer-based businesses which occupy most of the lots on Route 110, with the lots on the side streets mostly still used for industrial purposes. So we once had a lot of manufacturing. We now have 2 movie theaters, multiple restaurants, including Houlihan's, Chipotle, Applebee's, Chili's, and many more. Walmart, Home Depot, Lowe's, True Leonard's, Targets, and many more. There are many furniture stores and outlet stores. There's a large shopping center directly across the street. There's a Walmart shopping center to the south. And there's a shopping center that was formerly the Sky Drive. So the Acadia Shopping Center, the application does not need a zoning. Property is industrial G now. We've been asked to develop to EA standards, and we have agreed to do. We are seeking site plan approval, and Mr. Cox will go through the site plan in a couple of minutes. And special permit for our restaurant as per Council 213-347. The site is a large multi-building shopping center. Tenant acquisition takes time. The landlord needs the site plan approval to know it's leasing. Tenants are often unwilling to sign a lease until there is an approved site plan. They want some assurance of how the site will lay out and some assurance of when the construction will be ready. And of course, we are also in the middle of the COVID-19 pandemic, which has hit food service very hard. Adjacent to this site was an Anthony's Coal Fire Pizza that was doing very well. It has closed its doors. So the restaurants will follow. We anticipate up to 6, or maybe less. The restaurants will take space in the existing buildings as per the site plan presently before the board at this time. Well, Dale will talk through the site plan in a minute. I'll note a couple of points. There is no access to Carlin's Road. All access is from Route 110 and Conklin Street. In fact, the reason for the purchase of the adjacent property was to install that drive so that it's teed up with the light that enters the Airport Plaza drive. First class architecture on the buildings, the protection being paid on the road. Quality landscaping, including the buffer on farmings and the central pedestrian area. I also note there is full compliance with all aviation easements. In fact, there is more room provided than easements actually require. All FAA no hazard determinations have been issued. And the remediation plan has been approved by the DEC, and it will be implemented as part of the build out of the site. In fact, the DEC recommends the approval of the project as such, which secure the completion of the remediation of the site. That said, I look forward to the fact what the
Sir, could you please state your name and address for the record?
Dale Koch, I'm with the firm Bowler Engineering, we're located at 2929 Expressway Drive North in Hopkins, New York.
You swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth.
I do. Okay, great. Good evening, Mr. Chairman, members of the board. As I mentioned, my name is Dale Koch. We were the head engineer working very closely with AES to develop the board this evening. Something important to note, we've been working on this project for a pretty long time and working very, very closely with the planning department, coming up with some of the important features that you see brought into the site plan today. I'll go through a couple of those features just so we're all, aligned, but a couple of the important items. Mr. Pizzella mentioned no access to East Farms Road. We also provided a very, very dense buffer along East Farms Road that one of the exhibits we have, followed up in a few minutes, will do a nice job illustrating the view that people will see as they drive down East Farms. Modification to Thompson Street, including the roadside bus shelter and bus stop that we are going to be coordinating and working with the planning department for. Walkability throughout the entire site. So the idea was to be able to allow pedestrians and customers of the stores to walk through the entire site without any issue. There's sidewalks that can go. Unfortunately, with the scale, you really can't see it, but the sidewalks do cross through the entire shopping center. Couple other things in the center of the store there, in the center of the shopping center, you'll see a nice landscape feature with some benches and outdoor space. The idea about this was to really make it a centralized area and landscape feature to break up some of the different parking lot areas and really create a nice center for the shopping center. And then throughout the site, you have various different retail and restaurant uses you can see there. So I will take a minute and kind of walk everyone through the site. Those are the general features that we work extensively with the planning department to refine the design, really make something nice for the town, and a big improvement for our town. So the main entrance to the site is off of Broad Hollow Road there. It aligns with an existing signal that services the Airport Plaza Shopping Center directly to the east. And I apologize, the plan north is not the north, so Route 110 runs north-south. Just the geometry of the site there kind of made us rotate everything. So Route 110 is the north-south roadway directly to the east or to the bottom of the page. The Airport Plaza is there. That's your existing driveway. There's an existing light that we are aligning access driveway off of 110 for. You drive into the site. As you come into the site heading west, you see that nice landscape feature I was discussing in your first cluster of stores. Our idea would be to mix that with a few retail and restaurant uses. As mentioned, finding tenants for these, we're not at that point yet, but the idea would be to create more of a shopping center feel with more of a nice walkability and landscape feature that kind of softened everything as it came in. To the south is the larger retail. We call it the anchor retail, but we're proposing it's approximately 55,000 square feet. That'll be the largest building on the site. It's also located a little bit farther away and more screened than the rest of the stores. As you circle clockwise around, there's another 20,000 and 25,000 square foot retails that are on the west side of the site. Each of these uses have been designed with their own small loading areas or trash enclosures to make sure that as folks come in and tenants bring in and occupy the store. It'll work for their uses. Landscaped islands throughout with good landscaping, pretty solid size. And one of the main points that we wanted to make sure that we were getting when we first met with the planning department about a year ago was providing landscape buffers and having good landscaping off the street. We actually worked on the SkyDrive site. And one of the things that really didn't come out as nice as this site was the room to be able to provide those pretty big landscape buffers along each right of way. So if you look here along East Carmen, along East Carmen, Conklin, and Broad Hollow, there's some pretty good sized landscape buffers and opportunity for some nice landscaping along the street frontages. And then on the north side there are a couple more retail buildings. Those are about 5,000 to 6,000 square feet apiece. I would like to mention that we did make application to the FAA. We have gotten approval by the FAA. We received letters of non-jurisdiction for each of the buildings, allowing us to build within close proximity to their runway. And then just on the south side here, there's a proposed or two proposed identification signs that we'll have. There's one at the entrance of the Conklin entrance, and there's a appreciation sign just past that first building on the through the presentation we had. Can you pull up real quick the two samples of the buildings that are submitted architecturally? Right there. Just a sample of the architecture features, and Mr. Tuller is here if you have questions for the architecture. But again, we work very extensively with the planning department to come up with a cohesive feel. And even though there aren't any tenants, there's some nice site features and elevation features for the buildings. Let's see, the next building is one of the smaller building retails. This one is building H&I that's actually located along Conklin Street, just to give you a sample of what this building will look like. And then this slide is the view that folks will see walking along these Carmen's. Again, dense buffer, lots of landscaping. The idea that the planning department had and the Katie had was, let's provide some nice green landscaping, some native species that will do very well here and provide very good screening for the lifetime of the project. And that's really the main points. I'm happy to answer any questions the board may have.
So my first question is the buildings themselves. They have parapet walls because of the drawings that I saw. You can see right onto the roofs, and even though all the HVAC are enclosed, that's for town code. My concern is one, when people go up there to maintenance, they're gonna leave their garbage or just doing HVAC unit. And two, safety issues for stuff just flying off. So is there a parapet wall that's like a foot or something high?
Yeah, it's, you can tell that the max height there and the parapet, each building will have different size parapets, but yes, they all have parapets.
Okay. And then on the actual parking lot area, if you can go to the color. Yeah. Right. So on the entrance that goes on to 110, the parking lot on either side of them doesn't have any type of pathway from those overflow parking lots, like overflow, but there's no direct sidewalk or.
That is a gray stream, that's actually the ramp that drops down.
Okay.
Yeah, that
It's like that brown line on the left is a pink.
Okay.
yeah, but out of that you're right though. That southeast parking lot there. We can add a sidewalk with some crosswalks.
Just because from the parking lot, you would have to walk across the grass to get to that little cutout where the handicap accessibility.
Yeah, we were having a difficult time with that because of the grade change, but maybe what we can do is punch a sidewalk out into the sidewalk that runs across the entrance there and just make something work a little easier.
Also, if you travel further towards the east side, towards the residence. Yeah. Right there. So that beautiful centerpiece, the cut. Is that gonna be enough for the turn radius, and proper signage so that people as they turn around to go head north on the property, they won't turn into the one way? Like it's gonna be no way signs and things like that.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Yeah. No, that's
Obvious question.
great question. No, and it's tough to see, and it's a pretty big scale project. So there's plenty of room for, if I was a motorist and I came into the site. So there's two aspects of those drive laws I would look into. First, they're not your minimum 15 feet for angle stalls. So we found that when you have 15 feet, it's really tight. If someone's backing out, you're not paying attention, you go around them. So they're a little wider. They're 20 feet, which exceeds the requirement for that angle stall geometry. And then, yeah, you have 42 feet in between those two curves. So there's plenty of radius to get around that.
I'm just thinking about this, snow plow and.
Oh, yeah. No, it's a great
This
question.
is the north side of the property. The entrance to Conklin Street. I think there is some type of triangle. There is exactly like going in the right
Right,
way.
right, yeah, there'll be a raised,
And that's gonna be large enough if the tractor trailers don't want to take that turn, they'll be able to get through there without.
Oh, yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
so.
Well, yeah, and the idea is, I mean, obviously, for tractor trailers, there's plenty of room on the dimensions of one end of the. Again, same situation, they're bigger than your normal, it's not that 12-foot wide one-way driveway, they're 20 feet wide, there's pretty good room, there's good radii there coming out, and then they have plenty of room coming out on top.
Thank you. Are there any other questions?
Yeah, but I'm good.
No, hold on, sir. Oh. You're-
Two buildings on the north side of the estate, you propose that there was restaurants and retail.
Right now, we threw one of them there's two of them as restaurants. We don't know, we don't know. What they're going to do. So, it really depends on the type.
We don't have any tenants at present.
Right, no, I
If they
understand that.
sign the tenant to south, that would be either a restaurant or retail.
Putting it as a restaurant, we
Hold on. We'll come back to you.
noted.
I know we have to have you put your name in the record. So we'll hold that question. Anybody else? Yes, Jerry?
You mentioned in the beginning that slow and profile of quality of at the northwest corner, with confidence where East Corner comes up pretty high. What's the design for that whole corner? The field is pretty close.
So the grading's actually not as low in most of the site. The first half of it on the north side is pretty flat. And then as you go farther south, it starts to drop off. So we've designed it, because of the actual precautions to make sure that we're not exporting any soil off the site. So the site's completely balanced. And then as you travel south, the grade changes, it goes down. Pretty good for a side of around every other site. Platform is pretty flat. This one has pretty good grade change, but we were able to make it work. So yeah, the buildings are a little higher. And then as they go down, it drops in grade. We have a couple of retaining walls in the back where they control everything.
Any other questions? We have the architect, who's like that?
My architect is here, Mr. Jay, why don't you come up and say something? Can you go to the one over
Yeah.
Just give the board a brief overview of buildings and the team.
Jerry, could you please state your name and address, go ahead and your credentials?
Jay Keller, Rosenthal Design Group, 2001 Marcus Avenue, Lake Success, New York. We're the project architect for EWS.
If you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and
I do.
please, okay, a little more detail into the
Okay, after the initial recent submission that we had, there was a comment that we received from the planning department. We made a resubmission and we had one meeting with them, got some comments, made a resubmission, and this was the result of that resubmission. I would just like to comment that the colors that you see here are a little washed out. The actual color prints that we have are a little more vibrant. The white is showing a little bit more white. And then we actually designed with the hand color, so the colors are not quite so washed out from the actual design intent. As there are a number of buildings on site, what we try to do is find some unifying themes, colors, and materials. For instance, we use you'll see the doors and the windows all have vertical elements and horizontal elements or surrounds around them that kind of serve to unify the buildings. This is we only saw a sample of what the buildings are. There's 9 individual buildings on site, and some of those buildings are broken down into pairs of buildings that are adjacent to each other. So even though it's one single structure, there are pieces that have their separate those buildings have horizontal phenolic panels with wood grain on them, and we're going to design the buildings with lighter grain and darker grain. Building H has got the lighter grain panel as a composite cementitious panel. You'll see around the windows for H and I. You see the surrounds, vertical elements with horizontal elements connecting it. There are common bases along the bottom of the building. Some of those are precast, some of those are stone. But the materials are kind of a natural palette, and they tie together, whether it's masonry that's integrally colored on one building, whether it's a stone base on another, whether it's a precast base on another building. There's a unifying theme. Vertical metal panels are used on a number of buildings. So those are the types of elements that we try to incorporate, not actually knowing what the individual tenants are going to require once they lease the building. Some of the design challenges on this site were the runway protection zone, which limited the height most severely at the southwest corner, or the south corner of the building where building A is. That would be the northeast corner of building A is really low, and that's why you see that as a low element in the upper. You've got the building A. So in this corner over here, the building is much lower than the balance of the building, because in the back, we allow the height goes up much higher. So we had to we were having to raise the RPZ, and somewhere in between the ground and the RPZ, we had to come up with a building height that was working, including the height of the capital units that are also factored into designing the heights of the building. Many of the buildings have sloped. The running protection plane is a sloped plane, so theoretically the back of the building had to be higher, but we didn't want to design them to the maximum level of slope building, so we took the worst case at each building and came up with a common height for the most part around the entire building. I know there was a question about parapets, and that's one of the factors, why the parapets may not be as tall, so they come up to your waist and provide full protection. There will be parapets, but again, we're trying to maximize the interior space while trying to fit within the level of the grade and trying to get underneath the RPZ. The buildings are finished on all 4 sides. It's not like we have any blank facade, especially facing Farm Street. There is some, architectural dialogue going on in the back of those buildings, even though we won't theoretically be able to see them after the plants mature and you walk down the streets like the rendering showed. But those buildings are finished with the same type of materials, vertical elements, just to dress them up a little bit. It's not like we're ignoring the backs of the buildings. The faces of the buildings that are predominantly in the center of the site, those buildings are finished with all 4 sides, which it is the site along the line, so you can come in from the one-way streets that are front buildings. You can enter from that side, you can enter from the back of the buildings. So the site of the building is very accessible. the architectural design.
About the mechanical enclosures, are those going to be corrugated metal or something, or is it going to be a higher quality valve stuff?
There's,
Anticipate.
I'm sorry? What we anticipate is there are these nice sections of screens that actually slip onto the unit, so we don't have to physically connect anything to the roof. And the advantages of that are we reduce any potential snow loads by attaching stuff to the roof, minimize penetrations in the roof, and it's really economical. And it's not corrugated material, it's make material, it's part of full cityscapes or something similar to that, but it's attached to the unit, almost like a skirt that goes around it, and we found it to work quite effectively. The other thing that's a little different on these elevations is these shops are great. So no matter where you're standing on this site, it's as though you're as close to the building moving straight across the building. In reality, you're 6 feet tall, 5 feet tall, whatever your height is, you're at grade, looking up over the parapet, so the actual presence of the unit is somewhat reduced when you're looking at the angles on it. So it's one to explain, because units probably won't look as built. They will be that tall, they probably won't look as tall as what you see in the field.
Are there any other questions? Sure. Julian?
This is a different weight from the north and south, and we really anticipate that we will have more water break.
That's a big question.
Any other questions? Let me do this together. All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Dale, you're up.
All right.
The question is the bring on the northern and the elevation higher. I'm sorry, the south end, but the north is higher, and the higher than the north.
So we have to design the site to the town standards and the state standards. We're actually able to break up the site into tributary areas. So each area of Parkinville has its own system that can handle the water. You can almost see on the north side there, you see those circles in that plan. That's perfect. So those are actually flatter areas. And then you can see as you start heading to the south, those straight lines going across the site there, those are the contour lines of the site property. But we have drainage in place to handle all those different areas.
Just back to the things I got question. You mentioned being balanced like four. Does that include the displacement from the drainage?
Oh, yeah. They include the displacement, the drainage. There are a couple of piles of soil still on site. There's some depression and various other features that are going in. And then also the excavation of buildings, storm sewer. This site is not a 3D office. We spent a lot of time on this. It's very, very important that we see approval that the site stays balanced. So we modeled this a lot of different ways to make sure that that's the case.
Any other questions? Anybody else?
So that's really it. We think this is a very positive development for the site. Oh, sure.
Let's talk about this. What we really are. How does the town go about addressing the parking requirements? We see them in the
I have my traffic engineer here, and we've had extensive and ongoing traffic reviews for years. This job goes back to mine. We've had a lot of discussion for years now. I'm going to bring up the full going with just the parking from Atlantic Traffic. Good evening, my name is Paul Bowen. That's P-O-I-N-G, just like the word going. This is Atlantic Traffic. 29, So, The parking requirements are shown over here. We are required. Yeah, make it long, yeah.
Sorry, we work very extensively, like I mentioned a couple times now. So we're short on stalls. If you consider this a site, which we run the numbers every single way, if you consider this all retail, we meet the town parking requirement by a lot. Not by a lot, but by 20 to 30 stalls, we'll meet the town requirement. What we did was we took a pretty solid look at different uses, types of tenants coming into the market right now, and said, let's take some employees and let's make some buildings restaurants. Take a worst case scenario of square footage and seats. So if you see here, we listed out the buildings, and it's D, F, H, J, K, and L, and put in some seats that were pretty substantial. It's not just a 50-seat pizza place. It's a, hey, we can have someone come in here and be a 200-seat restaurant, plus 20 employees, which then equals your, for a building D, for example, 110 stalls. So we considered pretty much a worst case scenario for when we went back into planning and said, this is the parking demand. We're at 1,250 stalls, we're providing 1,067. So it's a pretty small variance in terms of what could be there. The 1,067 stalls would be closer if it was all retail. So the purpose of that was to show the difference for the town.
Another question for the traffic. So does the flow of traffic and the anticipated calculated numbers by the bulk going to affect the way that, and so this is something you're working with DOT for the lights on the 110 corridor, is that going to affect how often the light changes, or what's the mathematics of that?
We wouldn't be changing the timing of the lights. That would remain basically the way it is. This particular signal at Airport Boulevard and 110 would be reconstructed completely with all the equipment to accommodate the site driveway, and that site driveway is basically the time that the proposal will be. So it would operate essentially as it does today.
Okay, and then for the Conklin Street, how does that work with the anticipated number of calculated cars leaving with the waiting period for that traffic light? If there was a high peak period day, the backup of the cars.
Well, we actually have quite a bit of feeling on this. We have a question? Yeah. No, that would be right now. Right.
And there's going to be a curb day there than before.
Yes.
So did you want to add anything? We'd like you to.
I mean, that's really it. We think it's a very positive development, fully in character with this area. It will be a major upgrade of this particular site and provide an improvement to the surrounding area in which the property is located. If you have any other questions, we're on here.
Is there anyone from the public that would like to address the board? John, is it John? Come on up. Hold on. Get up here and state your name and address. Up at the microphone. Okay, so we can have it all. How are you in the record? Okay. I can tell. 1281 Hollow Road. You swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, nothing. Yes, I'm sure. I just had one simple question for the developer. The existing buildings are Sundown, Tri-State Seafood, Barbershop, and the hot tub area. How are they affected by the proposal? Why don't we get everybody who wants to speak, we'll have the owners and the representatives. That's all. Just so, do you have any other questions? Okay.
Director of the Public Airport, 7150 Republic Airport.
Okay, I swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth.
I'm not sure the planning board received this letter, so just have to read it into the record. Letter dated November 9th to the chairperson, dear Chairperson Compton. New York State Department of Transportation is in receipt of the notice of proposed application to the planning board for development of parcel by Acadia Republic Farmingdale LLC, adjacent to Compton Street and Farmingdale Road. Since 2014, the New York State DOT as owner and operator of the public airport and the Federal Aviation Administration, FAA, have communicated with both the town and Acadia that the development of this parcel for commercial and or residential use is incompatible with federal safety requirements. Specifically, the parcel in question encroaches upon the public airport one-way protection zone, RPZ. RPZs are traffic little areas off the end of the runway. They're specifically designed to enhance the protection of people and property on the ground in the event of an aircraft emergency or crash immediately beyond the runway. Development within the RPZ is strongly discouraged, and the FAA requires the public airport to take all possible measures to prevent such development. Recognizing that the proposed development of this parcel would reduce public congregation and inherently increase the risk of people and property within the RPZ safety area, New York State DOT strongly encourages the town of Babylon to reject this proposed application. As stewards of public safety, it is incumbent upon New York State and the town of Babylon to mitigate such risk. Thank you for your consideration of this request, and it's signed Ronald Epstein, Executive Deputy Commissioner of Public Use.
If you want to give us a copy, yes.
So it's dated November 9th.
Thank you. Sir, you would like to address the board? Could you please state your name and address?
Brian Junior, 112 East Palm Road, Farmingdale, New York.
Can you please say your name again? I'm sorry.
Lou, L-O-U-I-A-N-N-O-N-E, 112 East Palm Road, Farmingdale, New York.
You swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, nothing
Good evening, everybody. I happen to live down the road from this project. I've been involved in this project for probably 30 years, but I live in the area. Some history on the site, as you remember, this is the old reclamation area from Fairchild Road project. So there's a remediation site. It originally was designated only for retail, an office building, office expansion only. Has that been kind of planned for this area? It farms up with that one. It was good to hear tonight that there's no public access to East Palm Road, including walking over. This has been promised from many prior administrations. No walkway access will eliminate the possibility of cars parking along East Palm Road and missing the access. So we're looking for a fence. Okay, I understand that they want to put up landscaping, but as you hear, once it's mature, it will be a cutoff to stop people from walking onto the property. Having a fence there will stop the parking on East Palm Road, so people can access into the lot. We'd like to have the same type of fencing that come through like the old 500 by County Center, which is a 6-foot fence with slotted ground slots. Okay. We are having, this will also help security within the neighborhood as the area can be seen to take kind of far ranging issue. By not having this access, we eliminate another area to manage the high and emergency access should be a chain link fence block here. No sound will letting graffiti from the my neighborhood. All this can remain with the property lines, possibly central lighting in the parking area. Fencing along 6 foot, 3-foot berm, to be inside to a tree similar to 5 by Park County. This should be from the northern end down Compton Street, down East Palm Road behind the existing W building. Currently to be installed on East Palm Road, the sidewalk. building strip, and grass. Additional drainage needs to be addressed along the East Palm Road. And we presently have a flooding issue right now with heavy rain down at Bondwood Place and East Palm Road. By putting up curbs, you're now going to flow all that water, realizing that this is probably about an 8-foot grade from Bondwood to the end of East Palm Road property. All that water is going to run down. That flooding issue right now is wrong. It's horrible. The drainage on the road itself is not capable of handling runoff. They're all curbs there. Bondwood is further down, right there, that corner. Down with the industry meets the residential. Right? Would you like to go up there and point it out? Would that help? Right there, you got it? Okay. See where the trucks are? That's a private truck sales. Yeah. To the left of that, there's a couple of houses in the church down at Bondwood. Runs actually from the center to your left downward, and then East Palm Road continues across. That's it. Understand that East Palm Road used to be a stream. Years ago, that used to be where the stream ran before the road was put in. We have a very high water table, very high. When it's really rains heavy, East Palm Road is flood. I've had water run up almost to my front door. Okay, and in the last rainstorm, it didn't get that bad, but it has that potential to do that. So I had asked that there additional drainage because on the East Palm Road side, it catch that runoff coming down. And you're now going to not count the burn area, where the curbs are blinded, for the water runoff. I see you moving the bus stops. It's a good idea, but installing bus shelters will also help in coordination with the MTA. Because right now there are no bus shelters. People standing out in the open cold. We ask that no overnight parking be permitted on this property or deliveries. By installing the fence, you will eliminate some of the issues with the lighting and traffic. But being that it's below grade, it now makes where tractor trailers parking to be at exactly at the height of where people live. It's a similar situation to where I am. Where I am down on the my end of East Palm Road, the building across the street, actually, when I look out my upper windows, I look into the first floor of the building across the street. That's how great it is. Yeah. This is going to be a similar situation. And there is a gentleman who's been between houses there, so it's red block. So we asked that, I asked that. Signage on the property indicating that northbound Route 110 is only accessible from the traffic lane and not along Compton Street. So they understand that they to reduce the use of Compton Street. If you know that intersection right now, in the morning and in the afternoon, the traffic will back far down Cedar Avenue. You're going to be adding additional traffic going to that traffic such a short distance. And you're going to get somebody trying to make a 3-lane pass coming out of this complex and then walk the whole thing. So it needs to be looked at. The next question is, the DOT has had problems with this Compton Street egress for 2 projects now so far. Has DOT signed up on this yet? Does anybody know?
Well, we have to answer.
Okay. And walkways and curving and no signage should be permitted facing the neighborhood. So again, the whole grade, that's no just like into the neighborhood. We really don't want that. And the question I have is, I have a staff summary, staff recommendation, some kind of plan. These issues been answered or addressed. There are roughly 14 of them. As the applicant addressed these at all. And there's more aware of this. Okay. This is the letter, thank you for bringing this up. There's a letter from Suffolk County Planning that's dated. Sorry, no more. I have to find it on the website. I believe December 5th, 2018. And there was another letter in 2019 with the same situation, and it was recently made. Does anybody have any questions for me? I live in the neighborhood.
No, thank you. Well, thank you very much for your raised some questions that we're going to ask. For the applicant to address. Provide more information. Thank you very much. Mr. Kuzak? Is there anyone else who would like to testify? Regarding this application?
I'm going to take some.
Yeah, let's hear what the questions and you are.
Yeah, we'll take it in order. As to the existing tenants in the property came to the contract to buy, that property owner has indicated that upon the approval of the application, he will attempt to relocate them to other properties that he presently owns in the form of the area, as long as that is possible, because there's a lot of properties in there. As to the public airport, as indicated by myself and Mr. Kraus, we have no hazard letters from the FAA, about 99 pages. And we more than comply with the site and track plan, and he asked us to take a look at the easements and demonstrate compliance. This is the response. The exhibits on the letter over like 100 pages. We provide more clearance through that corridor than the aviation easements require. So we do more than that. We have been issued a no hazard letter on every single building, on every corner of every building on this site. There was another building that had an issue when it came down to the lower the building or not. It just dropped it because that portion of the site was at a higher grade. So that building was removed from the plan. It's on the left next to the entrance. That has now been made additional for. So there's no hazard letters issued, 99 pages, more than what's required by the easements. And of course, the property was sold into the private sector by the DOT. This has been brief with the town attorney's office over the course of the year.
So your statement that makes it on transportation by saying, quote, since 2014, it was the DOT as the owner and operator of the public airport and the Federal Aviation Administration have communicated with both the town and our community that the development of this parcel, commercial and or residential use is incompatible with federal safety requirements. Specifically, the parcel in question encroaches upon the public airport runway protection zone RPZ.
The FAA issued no hazard on each and every corner, every one of the buildings that.
So there's no hazard letter.
The requirement
Is that more narrowly construed than the, you alluded to the building?
the RPZ is, the no hazard letter is the requirement. If one does not get a no hazard letter, one cannot undertake the construction. There will be additional no hazard letters required if someone is to use the crane for the period of time the crane is in operation to put something on the roof. Separate submission. That's the requirement. There are a whole series of aviation easements on this property that Acadia has to comply with them, and it's doing so. There's a whole open corridor running in a northwesterly direction between those buildings. Wide open. The actual corridor is not much wider. The easement corridor is not much wider than that flagpole projection. Acadia made it even wider. That Acadia complies everywhere it needs to comply. The DOT at one time owned the land and sold it into the private sector. Not the additional parcel Acadia buying, the parcel, and sold it into the private sector. All all the legal requirements to develop a lot, as far as aviation safety, has to stack. It's a stack, right, Dale? It's 99 pages of no hazard. Not just the buildings, but all the corners. Yes, we filed it with planning and Mr. Crowe has it. You want to take the rest of the questions?
Well, the gentleman, the last speaker who addressed the board, and said,
Yeah. So yeah, just to reiterate the FAA submission, we made submissions on every corner of every proposed building because of the proximity to the airport. What's good is we were able to determine that if we had done a quarter inch in the middle of the big building, it would have been incorrect for the corner of the northeast corner of that bigger building. So by submitting for each corner, we're able to determine the actual maximum height allowed, and then work backwards from there. As Mr. Keller explained earlier in his testimony. Just a couple of things that I'll hit on. Really, in East Carmen's, so we are doing some improvements. We are also doing some drainage there. We worked with highway and engineering with the town, and we are proposing a dry well kind of at the entrance. We're improving some of the new curbing and pavement to account for that additional rainwater. It's oversized. It's a 12-15 dry well. It'll definitely accommodate the additional water that we would generate. Everything else, and that's just on the street, right away improvement. Everything else is drained to be contained on site. So there'll be no water runoff of this site. I think that's an important thing to mention. The landscaping and the burn and the grading and the landscape buffer we're providing is going to provide plenty of screening and protection. It's going to be, by the time it's a year old, it'll be so overgrown that you won't be really able to walk through there. So I don't really think a fence is necessary. We are providing a fence on the southern property lines to the industrial uses. There is no signage proposed to face the East Carmen's. The 2 freestanding signs are proposed on Conklin, Broad Hollow. The building elevations do show some signage, but they are more facing parking areas and those main right of ways. And then just again, to reiterate, it's an important piece, but there is a PDC approval and cleanup that runs with this property. We've taken into serious consideration grading and making sure that we're in compliance with that approval and that cleanup plan. And then ultimately, by developing this parcel, the PDC has found that it will be a significant improvement to the environment by controlling and having essentially the site capped by development.
Basically, by developing the site, the mediation plan, this property implemented, the site is.
You didn't talk about lighting. So is the lighting here to be similar to what's across the street by the Applebee's, the lower?
Yes. So yes, the light poles themselves will be lower. More recently, I've made this testimony a few times in front of this board. Lighting has also come a very long way, where the fixtures themselves can be controlled and projected in ways that will safely light up the parking lot, even though the poles are a little lower, and still provide plenty of light for the parking lot and the safety of the customers on the stores, but then also project away from the residential uses and not create issues. I use it as an example, but if you go out to Riverhead and drive past the Walmart and the Tanger Outlet, the Tanger Outlet's an old, big, really bright lights that light up the whole sky, and then if you go to the left, the Walmart, it's very controlled, and you can see the parking lots lit up, but the surrounding areas are all still dark and well designed. That's a good example of the difference in lights. So they'll be low, the poles will be taken into consideration for that RPZ zone, and then also the left.
Yeah. So along the East Carmen Road, there's not currently a curb there. So will there be improvement with putting a curb along that road?
Right now, the request by the highway is curb and sidewalk. We've made the offer that we're willing to work with highway with whatever they feel is most correct way to approach that, if it's just a curb on our side, and the sidewalk on the west side, or vice versa, we're happy to accommodate that. But essentially, yeah, it's showing a curb.
Because there, it's a valid point, right now the runoff water goes right into the ground, and that's where it's cool, so there's more surface area for it to be absorbed, so having an additional drainage location makes more sense. And two, would you be opposed to having to have, you know, a chain link fence with green or something there for security purposes? Because, yeah, no one's gonna be able to walk through that, but we all know people will get through it. As you see people walk through bushes and berms all the time and other retail facilities into the neighborhood.
Perhaps after tonight, we can look at that and take a look. Obviously, there's a lot of different ways to decide.
Okay. So within
the planning.
Yeah, and that was just with the drainage comments, like I said, we are adding drainage. Highway seamless engineering reviewed this. If there's something that we need to take into consideration for runoff, I'm sure we could work with engineering, but I believe at this time we are accommodating that.
Are there any other questions? Thank you very much.
Thank you. Have a great night.
Okay. I've been informed that the record will remain open until December 7th, 2020. We just received a revision, the 15th of this month, pending comments from planning, traffic safety engineering, and record being open with anyone in the public also submit to the board during.
What's the date on that?
The date of
Additional comment?
until the 7th of December. December 7th.
Thank you very much.
All right, so we need a motion to the record, open motion to that. All in favor?
Thank you.
Thank you. That's good.
basically like dusty file. I would say probably one part.
There's three Stu Lennox.
Yeah, Stu Lennox, everybody.
Where was Stu Lennox?
Stu Lennox is just, it's great here. I don't know. Well, the code, and what the code says is, you don't have a definition or provided, then. Right, but the.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Says conditions of farm. And that we should know.
I would feel the letter. Okay, well, that.
That's hard to reconcile, you know, with the here and here.
Then it was filtered to deal with the development in one way.
Yeah, Mr. Vizel's statements were very clear, specifically that we have this letter, that is what is required under the law. To approve it doesn't mean that it's not, doesn't deserve a closer look to see what those 99 pages or whatever, and I'll work on that first.
Just one of the things, I don't want to get too much stuff, this is important stuff. So, you know, the letters came to the board, it was very, made by the board in relation to the past. And they had the same, and you remember, and we had an executive session on that, and the board made a decision, that, you know, we would, you know, have the letters, that, you know, the project would improve. So this is the second part of that.
So I remember, but it was still being recorded, which was fine, and, so look at, you know, on the record, they don't think that, they want to look at the number of seconds. No, better, but, that's a fourth one, back to the level.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The other guy talking about, when you put the curves there, now the water that is on the street. And they're talking after the model.
Well,
So is that accounted for?
no, they're adding one drain on the three one. Yeah, he's talking about further down. There may be a local issue. You know, separately, they have to contain solutions, no less considerations. And there is, you know, each area is calculated, and I gotta tell you something, the school officials, that's just playing about this stuff. So they really did look at the drainage, on site.
They're doing the development on the part of the road, and they're willing to.
That's an off-site, that's an off-site improvement, and that would be, and it's a good point, and that would be up for a year. And I could give them a call and follow up with them to see if they are local, they might be willing to address the development in years, but again, they have to contain that level within the site, to which is the ability of further on the inside.
That's very good.
Yeah, but it's already, that's. Yes, they will have to, obviously make the site safe, but the type of land use, and this is gonna be commercial now, we actually look into, you know, the condition required maybe for the park. The standard that you have to follow is much higher, and when you put down pavement, when you put down buildings, you're actually cutting off that, interaction, where you have a park, you have kids playing in there, and that sort of thing, so. The park idea really is on the floor. And you look at different, you know, potential alternatives, like it would be, well, this is the fund designation, when you cut down, Mr. Chairman, the first matter on the work session for tonight is B, is the Kent Architectural Collaborative PLC. This was the auto internet auction site. It was processing cars at police returns. And as noted in the memo, it was previously approved for automobile sales, which they estimated at 10% on site and others on the internet. And SECR was approved when we originally heard this, and it was adjourned for further drainage and engineering issues, which have all been solved, and it is ready for the board to consider. And so the record has to be closed, and there is a resolution in Steve for consideration.
Okay, does anyone have any questions about it? No? So I need a motion to close the record.
Sure.
Okay, motion, Dan? Motion. Second, Dan?
Second.
All in favor? The record is closed. Let's go to resolution C. This is the pipeline.
Yes, sir.
Any questions about the pipeline? Okay, motion by Michael. Motion. Second by Jerry. All in favor? Item D. Where we are. Okay, so we've got item 1 application, 135152, ERE and restoration. Anybody want?
There is, this is for construction of a new home and, in this guy's, I think it's ready to go and there's nothing remarkable about the development.
Motion by Julianne. Second by Frank, and all in favor. All right, item E, we have a whole series of communication.
Yeah, well, Mr. Chairman, I'm sure the board members have looked at them. There's 11 in regard to Gale Grace. That entire page, and there's one more. I'm trying to-
All of those letters have been read and should be signed. The same with the town of Lynn. And, that letter. Read and signed. Okay, communications with Dirk Calendar, a letter from Jersey Lowski.
Yeah, that'll be taken up when that application is brought back.
So, jump down to the subject. That's an update, they submitted last time. So, that's on that's on. All right, the acceptance of minutes. Let's go to September 21st, 2020. Michael?
Great.
That's it?
Well, it's the same. Okay.
All right, there we go.
No one.
Motion by Michael, second by Dan. All in favor? Let's go to October 5th, 2020. Michael?
Very good. Perfect.
Good.
Yes.
So that's better than great. Very good. Congratulations.
I know.
Okay. Motion by Michael, second by Jerry, all in favor. And finally, October 26th, 2020.
This one was a bit more extensive, but expressed in the people.
I am on fire.
Did Denise ask you to say that? Motion by Michael, second by Eric. Okay, to the reserve agenda.
Page 5,
Okay, December 8th, 15:35. motion to extend the record to December. Okay, motion by Dan, second by Ed, to extend the record to 7. All in favor? Okay, January 6th, 1936, AGE fund. Also have to. All right, let's put that here in the future. Well, your any comments from this hearing? To 11:30. Okay, motion by Frank, second by Julianne, to extend the record to November 30th. All in favor? March 2nd, 2020. Can you recommend extending? Can you turn this off? I'm sorry, what was that? December. Okay, motion by Jerry, second by Julianne, all in favor? July 13th. Language of 1906. Waiting on revisions, we recommend we send the record out. Okay, motion to extend the record to December 14th, motion by Julianne, second by Frank, all in favor? Okay, July 20th, this is adjourned to August 24th. Item 1, 1825A, Belgrade States Equipment modified. The revisions are under review. We recommend extending them out, extending the record out to December. And this is to Jensen. 1 and 2 better meetings. Okay, motion by Ed, second by Dan, favor. Okay, August 3rd, language of 2021B, Wednesday, good morning. New plan should be submitted this week. We hope to review these minor revisions, and we recommend we extend the record out to December 7th. Okay, motion by Dan, second by Ed, second all in favor. The next page. August 31st, language of 1741AF, multi-grants, public roads.
This matter, Mr. Chairman, is on the addendum for consideration. So the record here needs to be closed.
Okay. All right, motion by Ed, second by Frank, to close the record. All in favor? You want to jump over this, you just wait. You can, we'll keep it. We'll work. Okay, September 14th, 2020. Walter Roslowski. Revision was submitted last week in the field review. We recommend extending the record to 11:30. Motion to extend the record to 11:30. Motion by Frank, second by Julianne. All in favor? Next item 2. Planning board mark 16, 19AF, approval of the public farm bill. City was already had that, let's send it back to the 7th, right? That's just something. All right, September 21st, 2020. Planning board job 2006, AE, comma, no. We're waiting for revisions that I've seen Thursday. They should be submitted sometime this week. We recommend extending the record up to December 14th. December 14th. Okay, motion by Julianne, second by Jerry. All in favor? Okay, October 26th, is that right?
That was closed.
Item A, planning board job, 1741, AF 40.
Everybody's going to address on this application. The last remaining comments regarding drainage and utility, and that has been addressed in here.
Okay, so,
Yes, on the secret was approved previously, so that bank plans would do all that, very for your consideration.
okay, so we just jump from there to, never to approve the site plan. Okay, planning board job, 1741, AF 40. Real estate, we need a motion to approve the site plan, motion by Michael, second by Jared. All in favor? Item C is a unsigned letter. Gotta do that. It is the 20, October 20.
Actually, the same letter.
Oh, it's the same letter, just like that. John Grace is based on that. Red, anything else? We have the
Yeah, there's no meeting next week. But there is a meeting the week after on the 20th. The new calendar for 2021. I don't know if you want to look at it. My question was August.
yes. we have to make a decision.
32 weeks off in a row, or do you want to put the 50 weeks in August?
Okay. What's everybody's preference? We have two weeks in a row, the middle of August, before on vacation. Do you want to be on a beach, do you want to be sailing? Yeah, so,
I'm not sure about my availability. I do know we are going to have a wedding. That Labor Day weekend, so
maybe then we
one of my
can do-
calendars, we're leaving that Wednesday.
So what's our choice here?
So you can do August 15th, August 21st, or August 3rd. If you do not want to 2 weeks in a row.
Let's do August 30th, unless anybody else objects.
That would be good.
Did that look right? Anybody else? So,
Approve the calendar.
approve the calendar, so August 23rd, and then August, there will be two days, right?
August 30th and then August 5th.
23rd, no meeting.
Yep, August 30th and September 5th.
Oh, okay, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, good. What else? What else? Nothing else? If you got any more questions on the table? I don't have any more questions on the table, but we are interested in the additional work. I do have a question regarding jail grace. What's the thinking? Application to swap out some one bedroom, two bedroom.
For two,
Wait. Defer that. Okay. All right. We'll pick that up next time. Yeah. No, I don't have to. I have a strong. No, you're good, your own portfolio. I can do that. I understand. Anything else? For the good order? No? Here's a foreseeable future. Yes. Oh, yeah, I guess it's the location. Oh, right. To the end of the year? So what's being done? All the others, right?
That way, and they have 10 friends over the site.
So all right, so we need a motion to adjourn. 8:30, second by Frank, all in favor?
Yeah.
All right, we are adjourned.